What's crack with you people? Anant here and welcome back to another episode of Jak 2. In the last one, we relocated some Rebel Underground members due to our actions, climbing up the Baron's tower and shooting him in the face. And then we found out the big bombshell that we've been in the future the entire time and not another world. Once again, for those of you who are astute, you probably saw that coming from a mile away. For those of you who were just kind of going with the plot, what you think? Because we're just scratching the surface of... Okay, Dax, you're gonna pop and lock while I'm trying to do trying to ask the audience what they think of it. Just rude. Just all kinds of rude. It's interesting because he's pretty much doing every single dance animation he did in Jak and Daxter. But yeah, so what did you think of the plot twist? Because I'm telling you right now, we're not done with the plot yet.
Shadows decided it's time to meet you.
Why is that place in the old ruins so important to you?
There's a powerful energy force at the old house. The metalheads are drawn to it.
No kidding. We used to know the guy that lived there.
So, you're the new recruits who keep getting into trouble.
Oh, no, not you!
Welcome to our humble underground movement. I am known as the Shadow, but you may call me Samos. And you are?
Jeez, Jak, we went through all that to meet His Holiness, old log-in-the-head Grandpa Green?
Don't you know who we are?
Sorry, kid. Never seen you before. And I never forget a face, especially one that ugly.
So it begins.
How is this possible? We came through the rift with you. Into the future, right?
Yeah, you used to look older than dirt and uglier than a knotted stump. What gives? Did you get a little nip and tuck while we were gone?
Listen, boys, I don't know what kind of twigs you've been chewing on, but I don't have time for this. We've got a Baron to overthrow, a child heir to protect, an invasion of metalheads to stop, and a city to save. I'd say the schedule's pretty full. Besides, I haven't gone through any rifts. I hate teleporting.
Sure sounds like the old Samos.
Right now, I need you to go to Haven Forest and root out a few metalheads. That forest is my source of power, but I can't protect it much longer. Chase down and destroy all the metalhead scouts you find there. Good luck, and welcome to the fight.
So yeah, Samos is the Shadow, and he has no memory of us whatsoever. Must be amnesia. Either way, let's go to the forest and deal with the metalheads there. Which is funny because, if my memory serves correct, this should be... If this is the mission I think it is, this is one of my favorite missions in the game. I'm not going to hype it up more than that. I'm just going to say this, one of my favorite ones, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will understand that what I consider to be a fun and engaging level, one of my favorites, might not be what you expect from a level, so I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. Oh, I haven't been through this barrier yet.
The Underground said you needed some help. You won't be able to catch those metalheads in the forest on foot, so I left my jetboard at the airlock near the city exit. Since you're helping the Underground, I'll have to let you keep it.
This is a no-hover zone!
Nice. At least it's good to see that the mechanic is, you know, helping us out now. So it pretty much shows that the mechanic is on the underground side, that she does not like the Baron and she does not like how they operate. However, that doesn't mean we're on good terms. I'm just going to give you that one up front. That's what she's saying, is that she'll offer aid, but that doesn't mean that she likes us, you know. So we still got a lot more proving to do with her before we actually get her trust and whatnot. Regardless, let's just keep on keeping on. Oh, and if we and since we're now at the point with the jet board, since this mission, we do get the jet board in this mission. We get to keep it as a part of our arsenal. I'm gonna let you know right now, is for some of you more keen-eyed viewers, you may have noticed that I've been skipping over precursor orbs in some of the levels we've been visiting. There's a reason for that. Most, if not all of them, are in locations...
Wow, the jetboard's ours! I call shotgun.
So yeah, this is the mission I think it is. But yeah, so as I was saying, a lot of the seafood, press R2 to get on it and R2 to get off. So now pretty much all of our buttons are being used except for the right face button, which won't be used for a while. But yeah, I've been skipping over a lot of precursor orbs for the sheer fact that you need the jet board to actually get all the precursor orbs, and I'd rather get them all in one go as succinctly as I can than to wait around. And once you get the jet board, you can get every single precursor orb in the game. None of them are hidden from you, or at least none of them are in places you can't access. So we fought that rhino. I love this music, man. So yeah, as you can tell there, we got 5 metalheads to deal with. However, how we deal with them is going to be a lot different than what you're expecting. You got an auto save here. So all you gotta do now, this is pretty much a take on the, if you remember Jak and Daxter, this is a take on the lurker mission in the Precursor Basin, where you had to chase down lurkers on Kira's hover bike and hit them to beat them. That's all this is. Just that in this instance, all you gotta do is chase down the metalheads on the jet board. And this is one of my favorite missions of the game, just for the sheer fact of how much of a callback it is to Jak and Daxter, but how different it is to Jak and Daxter at the exact same time. Because whereas you'd be thinking, oh, we're just going to do the same thing, you know, but no, this time, no, we're not just hitting them with a hoverboard, we're hopping off the hoverboard and tackling them into the ground, and I think snapping their neck. So yeah, not to mention the level that you do it in is more varied than the Precursor Basin in Jak and Daxter. While Jak and Daxter's Precursor Basin was a fun little level, it wasn't what I would call, oh, I didn't mean to get that one. I'm gonna have to just remember that I got that one for later. But yeah, the Precursor Basin was dynamic enough to be okay, but not dynamic enough to really keep your interest. With this one, it feels like the level itself is a little bit more alive than the Basin is. You know what I'm saying? So I like it a lot more than Jak and Daxter's level where we have to chase the lurkers for that fact alone. Not to mention the hitbox on these things, it's much easier to hit than with the that orb, didn't I? Ah, man. Ah, that sucks. Usually bounce up unless it did bounce up. I did get it. Oh well, we should be fine. Missing one orb isn't going to be too detrimental, but well, yeah, it's not going to be too detrimental because in the grand scheme of things, you can only really get. Well, nah, I'll leave that for later. But yeah, that shouldn't be too detrimental. Up. See, I showboated a bit too much. So let's go over this way. Just want to double check one more thing just to make certain I'm not crazy. Yep, it looks like the orb is lost into the sea. So this is the one part where you can't really get the orb for some reason. Don't know why that didn't fix that. I love this guy because he flies and he runs. I don't know why, it's just the idea that he transitions from flying to running to really throw you off. Makes it all the more fun. Not to mention he uses a lot more of the area than what you would initially think. Come on now. You're all mine. Oh, that's what it does. Okay, never mind. So, I guess depending on the metalhead, because I completely missed that the orb counter popped up. some of the metalheads in this location, the Skull Gem will automatically gravitate towards you. Ooh, this part. There he is. We're gonna have to do this. I think there were 2 in this area, and I might have activated both of them by mistake. There we go. Come on. He's a tricky little one, isn't he? Come on now. It also helps that I find the jet board to have a little bit more precise control than the hover bike and Jak and Daxter, so that does help. Not to mention just being able to just gain a bit of speed after every jump is so fulfilling, and I don't know why that's the case. Okay, so now if I remember correctly, we go up through here, and there should be a tunnel passage in the cliff face here that we can then take. Yep, it's right over here. And this should lead us to the very last one. Let's take a look around here. There we go. Also, there's something I want to bring up now. You may have noticed it as I've been playing through, but every time we pull out a gun, or every time we get on the jet board, the background music that's already there gives an added beat to it. With the jet board is a more fun, upbeat kind of tone, but with the guns it's more militant, more aggressive. And I like that about Jak 2, where it's like every little thing just goes into making the game more intense and more fun, or more adventurous, for lack of a better term. Now I remember where he is. Now I remember. Okay, I'm a dumb. See, that sounds like him. You can hear it. You could hear it. There he is. You could hear his little addition to the song. It just kind of comes together to make a more dynamic soundtrack than in my opinion, Jak and Daxter. Because I don't think, because Jak and Daxter, while had a good soundtrack, wasn't a dynamic one. And in my opinion, very few games nowadays, if my memory serves correct, do dynamic soundtracks. There we go. Gotcha. Get your Skull Gem.
Excellent work, boys. Come on back to the hideout. I have another task for you.
But yeah, so but yeah, I don't think a lot of games have dynamic soundtracks. Halo has. I remember the Halo franchise up to a point did have a dynamic soundtrack, but it wasn't like Jak and Daxter, where every now and then a new instrument would be added depending on what you were doing. It was just the soundtrack would change as you went through the level. Doom has Doom 2011, I think it was, has a similar dynamic soundtrack. I forget the specifics on how that one works. And when you have games that do that, it just adds a lot more to the overall feel of the game, and then it shows that they're really thinking about getting everything together. It's one of the reasons why, well, I said it once, I said it 1,000 times, Jak and Daxter is one of my favorite game franchises of all time. It's definitely in my top 10. It is definitely in my top 10. Anyway, let's get back to the hideout, shall we? Shouldn't be too long of a drive. There. And now the jet board is ours. Oh, also you can use the jet board to do damage to people. So this should be. I want to choose your vehicle parked here, but I guess not this time. Gonna steal your vehicle. Excuse me. Ooh, there's a crimson head there. Well, let's continue on with the Shadows quest before we do anything with the red head there. Actually, while I'm here.
This is Karoo. I just talked to my racing client, and she told me you were pretty good at that jet board of hers. My sources say a shipment of Crimson Guard listening equipment just arrived in the port. None of us, including the underground, want those devices up and running. It's not good for business. Ride the jet board out into the port and destroy
So yeah, that's another mission from crew that we gotta do. But unlike the previous missions, we pretty much got the mission now. So once we get into the Impover, where we go to as our primary means of getting from point A to point B inside this world, we'll just automatically do the mission and go from there. Now Crew says, yeah, we didn't want to do that. We don't want that happening, but more than likely it's to serve his benefit. Crew doesn't do anything that doesn't benefit him in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, as I was saying, let me go ahead and show this off. I don't think I've ever done it yet. Now in here, if you go to the map feature, you can actually see where certain objectives are. Oh, we're actually right next to that objective. In which case, let's go ahead and do this one. But yeah, so as this map works, is a vertical scrolling map. I believe you can zoom in, I believe you can zoom out. No, it doesn't look like you can. But you don't really need to, because all of the details are there, and every single section of the map is distinct enough that you know exactly what it is and where you need to go to get to it. So, since we're right next to it, let's go ahead and handle this mission here, because if I remember correctly, this is a mission that is fun, but also challenging. Oh, now we have the jet board now. You can get by a lot faster. Okay, gonna go through here.
How's it riding in the hood, Red?
Get out of the area. This is Crimson Guard business. One of Vin's eco-tankers is coming in from the wasteland, but the clearance transmission sounded fishy. The driver was scared. We're going to check it out, just in case.
How can we help?
I've got it handled.
A metalhead sneak attack!
Damn! It's just us! Help me take out all the metalheads!
Yeah, so about not needing help, Ashlyn?
Nice shooting. We got them all! The metalheads are getting bolder every day. It's almost like they're testing our defenses, like probing attacks. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's the mission. You may be wondering, what was the point of that? Well, the point served two fronts. It shows that the metalheads are not a bunch of mindless monsters. As Ashlyn said, it seems like they're testing defenses, doing probing attacks to figure out where the weakest points of entry are to do what they need to do. And while the Baron himself, it shows two fronts. The first one I just talked about. The second one is that it shows that Ashlyn doesn't know about the deal the Baron's cut with the metalheads. Otherwise, she wouldn't be thinking that it was a probing attack. As far as the Baron's concerned, this is just part of the deal. They attack the city, he stays in power, gives them eco, that kind of stuff, you know. It's not enough, they don't attack the city enough to take it over, but they do attack enough to keep his reign valid. So yeah. It's a very short mission and you got a decent amount of skulls out of it, but my question is, was that a freaking clown car or a TARDIS? Because there's no way that many metalheads can fit inside a tanker that small. Also, if memory serves correct, that tanker is going to be there for the rest of the game. It's one of those things where it's like I don't think they ever fix it up. Yeah, we don't go to that quadrant very often, so it's very possible that that is the case.
I want you boys to escort the kid over to Core at the power station. He promised to look out for the boy, and I'm just too busy to babysit right now. Oh, and take the kid's crocodile with you. Oh, isn't he sweet?
So what's this kid's story?
I found him just wandering the streets, but that amulet around his neck means he may just be the lost heir to the city. Take the kid and the mutt to the power station. Watch out for guard patrols and defend the kid at all costs. Oh, and if you happen to lose the crocodile...
Hey Kid, wait! Come back!
We gotta protect him!
Now this part is going to be very hard because here's how this works. If the kid, for whatever reason, if the Crimson Guard, for whatever reason, get close enough to the kid, they will arrest him on spot. He doesn't have a health bar. I guess because they didn't want to depict a kid being shot in game. So, what you gotta do is you gotta just keep shooting the Crimson Guard. Keep your eye on your mini-map, you'll see them coming from a mile away. If they get close enough to the kid, they will point their weapons at him, arrest him, and that's the end of the game right there. That's the end of the level. It is a very hard mission, very frustrating. And it's very easy to fail. However, once you escort them to a certain point, it gets a little bit easier, but not by much. Not by much.
You gotta get in the vehicle with the kid.
Also, if you look closely, now Daxter's shooting the weapon. So what you want to do is you want to be very careful here because you don't want the vehicle to blow up too soon, or else you have to wait to find another one. So just drive fast you can and avoid getting shot. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. Right on the corner here. Also should bear mentioning that the kid and the dog will not get out of this vehicle until you hit a specific point in the mission. So if the vehicle's low on health, then guess what? Yeah, you're gonna fail. It's gonna blow up, you're gonna die, and they're both gonna die and fail. So now unfortunately you can't just do what I usually do and just park the vehicle right next to the and park it right next to Vin's park it right next to Vin's what's I'm looking for here? Vin's entrance. The entrance to his Nope. Back off.
Phew! Finally! Let's get these two to core! Samus told us to bring the kid to you!
Thank you. I'll be sure to keep him close. Oh, sweet. Interesting. That insufferable mutt never liked anyone but the boy before.
I guess I'm just good with animals.
I hope we have enough eco to keep the metalheads at bay. During my travels in the deep wasteland, I saw some of the bigger ones. Awesome creatures.
We saw a big one coming out of a rift once. He was ugly!
I have some valuable information for you. The Baron is conducting an excavation at the dig. He is still looking for that ridiculous tomb. Frankly, I don't believe it exists, but you might as well go out there and disrupt his operation just in case. Knock down all the scaffolding at the site. That should set him back. Here is an air train pass to get you out there.
Be advised, I'm on foot.
So yeah, that's the mission. And we'll deal more with the game in the next part. I've been Anansi. I'll catch you later.